And welcome back, everyone, as we're here to kick off the most wonderful of races today for my favourite Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 7. I'm going to start off here by introducing our two wonderful runners today. Nyiddle, how you doing, man? How you feeling about the race? Are you confident?
Oh, I am super confident. Aragold, for sure. You're going down, bud.
I can't hear you, Nyiddle.
Oh.
Is that just me?
Oh, sorry. Like I was saying, Aragold, you're going down, bud. There's no chance in hell I'm letting you take this one from me. I am the best, okay? I'm the cream of the crop, alright?
There we go. We got a rebuttal there, Ara. How are we feeling? Are you confident?
I'm ready.
Come on, man. Fight him.
I'm ready. You're going down.
There we go. So you two must have raced in the past. We've done a few RE7 tournament races, so you two must have raced in the past. What's the sort of, like, who's winning in this little, in the versus schedule view? Who's got the most wins out of the two of you?
So I think we're 1 and 2, unless I'm wrong. I think we've raced 3 times, and Aragold has beaten me twice.
Right, there we go.
Yeah, so
good.
We're trying to hit that tie, so that way we can...
I'm ready to make it 3 for 4.
I'm also just going to introduce the most wonderful of co-commentators we got here. We got Mr. Captain Ezekiel with us this wonderful morning. How you doing, man? It's nice and easy early for you guys.
Yeah, it's way too early o'clock, but I'm here to vibe, man. I'm here to make these runners feel uncomfortable when I talk about their runs.
There we go, guys. Right, I'll let you guys count yourselves in so you guys can sync up properly. But yeah, we're pretty much good to go now. So yeah, away you go, guys. Let's see a close race, and yeah, can't wait for this one.
Yeah.
Nyiddle, do you want to go on 1?
Yeah, sounds good. You want to count?
All right. Yeah, I'll count on 1. 3, 2, 1.
Nice. That looked pretty in sync to me.
Good luck, buddy. Okay, so I was trash talking, but I just want to clarify. Me and Aragold are very good friends. We besides RE7, we chat a lot. You know, it's one of those cases where speedrunning led to a beautiful relationship.
I watched it blossom from afar, guys. It's been a true love story. No.
If you listen closely, you can hear Nyiddle live.
You can hear the subtleties and shifts in tones. You're just lowering his
really got
a false sense of security. But no, I must admit, Resident Evil 7 is probably the closest community that I'm a part of, personally, out of all of them that I'm in. So it's a wonderful little community, guys. So if you're looking for a new run that's pretty easy to do, but hard to master, then come and join us. And you too can have fake friendships with Nyiddle.
You too.
I assure you,
it's an amazing
the majority of them are real.
You're looking at the minority right now, though, but the majority of them are real.
So, guys.
I suppose we should explain what it is they're doing. So, Ara and Nyiddle here are running any % New Game Plus Easy, which is the most popular category for Resident Evil 7. It is also the most optimized category for Resident Evil 7. These two are both top runners. I think, respectively, Ara is 4th place and Nyiddle is 6th place. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
No, you're right.
Yep.
Oh, off the top of my head, I'm so smart. And basically, their PBs are separated by no more than 20 seconds. I think it's like 15 or 16, something like that. So they're very close. And in a game like this, a lot of stuff matters. So you'll probably hear me and Moon talk a lot about specifically their guest house, their out of bounds, and their boss fights, right? These are all very big key turning points in a race. Trust me, I know. I mess it up all the time. So this is going to be exciting, if you're not excited already.
No, yeah, just some interesting points as well for those of you that might not recognize. This is actually a slightly different version of the game to the one you'll have probably played at home. So they're playing on the Japanese version of the game, which is classed as a censored version, which has a couple of differences to the main version of the game that we'll point out as the runners hit it. Just trying to get all the preamble out the way. Also, one thing you can't see here, but both runners are running in uncapped frames, or as close to uncapped as they can get, depending on their PC hardware, because frames saves time in this game. And it's the age-old sort of RE engine manipulation of frames equals melee damage. So that's continuation in this RE engine, which is also an interesting thing to point out. But yeah, it's going to be a good race. I'm looking forward to this one. It's like Ezekiel said, they're close on the PB, and this is an hour and a half run. To be separated by 20 seconds is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. You just saw both of them pass by Jack. Jack, basically, we have this thing that could happen when you run by Jack called Daddy Boost. Neither of them got it, so no one got the little cheeky advantage, which is Jack will sometimes allow you to run past him as opposed to walk slowly. More common on lower end CPUs, but we don't know the actual cause of that. But now they're both walking into Guest House for the very first retry. Moon, you want to explain a retry?
Yeah, so basically what you're going to see here is the game has a pretty prolific autosave system on easy, and there's certain parts in the game where Ethan has two different states. So Ethan has two running states, one inside and one outdoor state, is basically the simplest form to explain that. And what we can do is we can manipulate these states, so as you cross a threshold there to go into Ethan's slower down house running state, you can actually retry. And because of his positioning at that autosave point, it resets his run speed to be his outside running state. We do this a few times in the run. I think it's about 3 or 4 times. I know mine's being a big one on our way back to get the fuse as well, and 1 or 2 other points. But we manipulate retries here quite significantly in this run to gain speed boosts all over the place.
You also just saw them both change FPS. Now, they're going to do that a few times throughout the run, so you're going to notice their times are going to desync a little bit, but I can assure you from what I've seen, they're on the exact same pace.
Pretty much.
We switched to 30 FPS numerous times throughout the run for different reasons, but ultimately it's because on lower frame rate, the way this version of the RE engine works is the lower the frame rate, the less amount of hurt and hitboxes that are being put out by the game, meaning that Ethan is no longer putting out as many pixels as you would of himself. So he can squeeze through stuff can squeeze past him, you can just force through the sides of enemies and stuff like that, and it's the opposite on higher frame rate. So you'll see them do that to get through like tight holes, to get around Jack, to get around enemies.
Yeah, so it is an important thing to bear in mind that these guys are pretty much neck and neck. It literally will be menu time that's really affected the difference here. So it just looks like Ara had a quicker menu section. So we do. I'm not sure if we're going off in game time for this. Is that what I mean? Do we have a rule on what we're doing, IGT or in game time?
I would imagine it would be IGT. We time almost all RE7 races by IGT because of the we do that also just for basic runs. So we wouldn't want to do RTA, I would imagine. So
yeah. If it comes down to being separated by IGT, I don't know if I've ever seen. Other than maybe like that one race with Techno, where it needed to be separated by IGT.
Oh yeah, because it was so close. Yeah. I'm just going to throw out some donations, guys. We had a £20 donation coming in from Shinky DX, who says, "Good luck to the runners. Let's go." And then we have Hoobie coming in with another £20 donation, who says, "Feel like I should donate some after the 2 deaths last run, and good luck to all the runners coming up." No, thank you for coming and doing the run. It was a really fun run. I caught the second half of it, and it was really amazing. Yeah,
thanks for the donations, guys. That's hype.
Let's go.
Keep it coming.
Past that 3.3k marker already this morning. Starting the morning off strong, guys. Much love. Let's go.
Yeah, you guys are killing it with donations these last 2 days. I mean, we just started today, so actually insane what's been going on.
So we probably should mention the big bugbear in the room, I guess. A lot of the reason a lot of people don't like speedrunning this game, I guess more if you're a traditional speedrunner, this game has the infamous title of just unskippable cutscenes, which is kind of what it's known for. Like, if I go into somebody's chat and they ask what I speedrun, I say RE7, they're like, oh yeah, the unskippable cutscene game. There's a lot of holding points in this, and it's what kind of makes the game a little bit difficult to run in my eyes, is your first 10 minutes of the game are almost an auto-scroller. It's a huge auto-scrolling section where there's not much variation, and very little can go wrong unless you're really just not paying attention. And Mia gets stuck at a trigger point or something because you're not close enough. But yeah, unskippable cutscenes are a thing in this game, so you won't see our runners, except for one, which just randomly is rendered out of engine for some reason. And I think it's because it's a flashback, but I'm not sure on the specific reasonings on it.
Yeah, that was actually particularly interesting because though it is rendered out of engine, it still counts towards in-game time.
Yes, so you have to skip it.
So it's super strange that, there's been recently a lot of development gone towards this game for an SRT. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's a speedrun tool. And I've had the privilege of learning a lot about this game. And boy, do I wish I hadn't, because now I could see all the inner workings of everything that happened, and it's all very weird. And you'll see that soon enough.
Yeah, basically. No, well, I mean, it's exciting that the SRTs moved so far in development now. I was speaking to VGR on stream last week, I think, and he was filling me in on all the progress you guys have made. So excited to see that come. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, so you see them, they're both standing at the same pillar, kind of looking in the same direction. Basically, Mia's in the next room, freaking out. They're waiting for her to basically get kidnapped or taken away so they can run through the room. Where they're standing is the closest point you can be to her without actually being in the room. If you're too close to her, she won't get kidnapped. So that's why then you're going to see them dip in and out of the bathroom. This causes the knocking on the door for the next trigger. And then they're going to go down the stairs to get Mia to start the next cutscene event. And basically, you're going to hear the word trigger a lot come out of Mia and Moon, because this game is incredibly flag and trigger heavy, where we skip sequence a couple times, but we can't skip sequence too many times, or the game will not allow us to progress. It will soft block us, it will break. So you'll hear say they're doing this to trigger this, because if those flags are not met in the game, then bad things happen.
There's only one major sequence skip in this game, which isn't really a sequence skip because you still have to do everything anyway, but we just do it out of order because we still need to hit all the flags and triggers, but we can happen to grab an item a little bit earlier than we would normally do, just to sort of roll through that. So we're coming up to the first major potential differentiation point in the run. Zeke, do you want to go through this fight and the quick kill animation and everything?
Yep, so this first part right here is the Mia stand-up. Basically, the game wants you to walk around and then come back and walk over Mia after you've done exploring and seen the door and everything. And it would wake her up and she would jump scare you. But what we do is we instead position ourselves in a way where we meet the movement request of the game, where we put ourselves in a certain spot and stare at Mia. And if done correctly, she'll stand up after a certain amount of time. If done incorrectly, that timer kind of loops and resets itself until you're in the right spot, and then she'll stand up. That's the first part of this. The second part is the Mia 1 boss fight. Now, Mia 1 has 700 health, and we get the axe to kill her. If done correctly, you can kill Mia in one swing by crossing most of her body with the swing, which saves about 1.5 seconds if you're able to do the one hit versus the 2 hit. So Ara going in for the hit. He gets the one hit, and then he did a little 360, which was good. Nyiddle getting a 2 hit.
Yeah, it wasn't
bad at all. So, I mean, not getting hit. Not getting hit is the idea. You don't want Mia to freak out. And if Mia starts moving, that's when you start to have huge problems. But Ara hit 1 hit, and then you also turn around. If you flip around and do a 180 and look away from Mia, she'll grab you instantly as opposed to waiting. But still, good Mia 1.
Yeah, no disasters there, basically. 1 second is nothing in this run. Basically, there's so many different little flip and change points that can cost you, but there's also some major time loss points as well. So if our runners separate at any point, there's plenty of opportunities to catch up. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong in this run, and you can easily lose 15 seconds through a slight mistake on a boss.
Yeah, that is definitely not an understatement. There's places in this game where you can lose time, and there's also, like, you can kill your run, and things can get tremendously slower. Like, 30 seconds in another game might not sound like a lot, but 30 seconds in Resident Evil 7 is a lot. It is a lot of time to lose to, like, certain skips, and there are some skips in this game that can lose you that much time. But now they're putting in the fuse. Basically, the whole sequence here is they go put in the fuse, they go start the next Mia cutscene. Before they head upstairs for what's called Mia 2. And I'll kind of explain Mia 2 now while we're in this cutscene. And you'll also notice this cutscene that can be explained we're in a Sarah D censored version of the game. Which means there's no dismemberment, nothing piercing the hands, stuff like that. So you'll see them get pierced through the wrist, which is better, apparently, with a gardening pitchfork. So you'll notice that looks a little bit different. You'll also notice Ethan won't get his arm cut off. But for Mia 2, Mia 2 has 2,000 health, a bit harder than Mia 1. She also has a setup for a one-hit, which is actually a bit more forgiving and easier, in my opinion, than the one on Mia 1, because Mia 1 is a bit more tricky. But both runners are going for this one hit as well. They're going to do a certain lineup to ensure that they get to the right spot to hit her once and kill her. But Mia 2 is a bit more risky as well. If you miss the one hit, and don't recover correctly with a second hit, because then she will bolt across the room like her life depends on it.
Yeah, she really moves quickly.
And she's running. She starts to sprint. It's even worse on Madhouse, but we're on easy. You can still die on easy, because you can tell they're both not at full health. Ethan at this point is at about, I think, 800 health from the Mia 1 encounter, or 600, something along those lines. So now they're going up for it. I don't believe I saw Ara do the retry.
I didn't. I think, Nyiddle's going for it.
Nyiddle does the retry. That retry saves 0.3 or 0.4.
Yeah.
Boosts so forward a little bit.
It's a very SSD dependent retry. There's one or two that are very SSD dependent, but good hit there from Ara.
Okay. Ara's finished his Mia. Both runners get the one hit. That is so PogChamp. You love to see it. Ooh, but Ara messes up the good ragdoll, so therefore he's losing right now in my eyes. So let's see if Nyiddle...
Oh, here we go. Oh.
Ooh. Slightly better ragdoll.
Look at that power stance by Mia there. Oh, it heads backwards as well. Excellent. There we go. This is the one bit of enjoyment we get from this run.
Oh.
This is it. We get to play with Mia's body. Not a statement I should ever say again. Let's move on from that.
I think Ara's video feed has frozen.
Oh, yes, it has.
I decided he was really committed to the bit. It's a good thing because this actually just started a 3-minute.
We can hear it though, so he's still live. He's still playing. We can just describe what's happening on Ara's stream.
It must have restarted my stream, but I didn't touch anything. Because it says it's the frame, the amount of frames, the little counter is just reset.
Can you restart quickly?
Is it not? Because it says I'm streaming.
It's not come back through yet. Just to answer a question from Lil Sil in chat before asking whether the runners were still in 30 FPS. No, they usually they want to spend as little time in 30 frames a second as possible, because for every second they save in 30 frames per second, it actually costs them time. Not generally for just general movement, but anytime they want to go into the menu, everything is kind of affected by this frame rate. Ara's just frozen. I think we're going to try and get the feed refreshed because his game's still going on in the background. But your camera's frozen as well.
Can you hear my game? So you just can't see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear Yiddles.
We are definitely hearing ours. No, I can hear Jack talking to Nyiddle. Not Nyiddle, sorry. We can hear Ara.
I was going to say, we were on Ara's audio before.
Nyiddle would have had to have jumped ahead by like 20 seconds. Not 20, sorry, by like 5 seconds to like hear the audio difference like that.
Do we need to pause?
Yeah, let me know if you want to pause. We can pause at the same time. Pause.
Imagine you're about to end your cutscene.
Pause at the end of the cutscene, maybe.
Probably.
Right before you gain control.
I paused.
Okay, there we go.
Corey.
There we go.
Corey, help. Help me, Corey.
Quick.
Corey.
Fix it.
Corey.
All right, are we good?
Oh, hey.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, we're all good.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Ready to unpause, Nyiddle? Right. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Hog champs for Corey.
Saving the day. Saving the day.
Ara, you guys caught Ara in real time trying to splice them.
He's actually, he just loaded a save at like Jack 3.
Real time splice, next level, dude.
That was a.
Alright, so Ara's about to do Jack Hallway, and it'll be following very shortly. Jack Hallway is an interesting point because it could set up for something called wall skip. He's basically going to try and grab the key and get around Jack without getting touched. Based on what I just heard, it doesn't sound like that happened. Jack instant grabbed him. It's a very movement-based thing here, but Ara does get around Jack.
Wall skip, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Nice.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Nyiddle also getting grabbed, so pretty even through here. But Nyiddle got the second grab and the knee.
Oh.
Now he's going to get back past him, but he should be good here. So overall, probably about a second in the favour of Ara there. Although he did get back past him a little quicker, so probably 2.
Nyiddle also has the setup for wall skip here. Yep, there it is. Both runners getting wall skip, very pog champ.
It's harder than it looks, guys. I'm terrible at it.
Nyiddle taking a line that I don't agree with, but he was able to get around Jack. He does it no problem. Neither runner gets leg chop shenanigans. Both get wall skip. Nyiddle did get kicked in the mouth, but it be like that sometimes. They both got instant grab, and then unfortunately for what can happen is Jack will hit you on higher frame rate through blocks and like grab you and stuff. So it's a real pain. Neither runner gets phone skip, so they're not cheating. So
I found a way to get phone skip a lot lower frame rate. I've been experimenting. I've been working on a little thing. So I've been getting it regularly. I've been testing as low as 200 frames and still getting phone skip. Interesting little movement things you need to do. And I think after speaking with VGR, it's something to do with looking down and getting teleported up for a frame into a different room, which triggers the phone. So an interesting little thing there.
Yeah, so the phone skip we're talking about is that phone call that you saw them run out the door and run back to answer. There is a thing in the game where normally it happens with about 300 or 350 FPS, where as you're coming out of that hole, Ethan will do a little map swap. He'll instead teleport to outside because the hole that you're in is technically considered the outside terrace as opposed to being the underground tunnel or the laundry room. And if your frame rate's high enough, Ethan kind of teleports. You don't see it, no one can really see it, but if you're staring at the data, you can see that he's moving to a different map, and then the phone will think you've left the room, and it'll ring when you come out of the hole.
The time save is about 5-6 seconds, I think, is it not? If you get it.
It's actually about 2 to 3.
Nice. So it's a nice little time save if you can get it. Very pay to win. So, you know, that's what we call it. Cheater skip, exactly. Just get good hardware, guys, and then you can be a pro Resident Evil 7 speedrunner. But we're coming up to Jack 1 now. Both runners are probably going to follow the gun strat, if I'm not mistaken, where it's just going to be 3 shots to Jack, 2 shots, and then 1 shot to the head, basically. I just call it the 3-2-1 strat. For simplicity. I think I even do an extra shot. I think you can get away with only doing 5 shots on this, can you, Zeke? Or do you need the 6?
No, I think just the 6 is fine. I think it's guaranteed. It's easier to do with 5 if you have the rhythm. Jack here in this fight, you don't actually kill Jack. You only get him down to about 80 to 85% health before he actually just enters death state, basically. The R's going to let 3 rip into Jack's back and then go around the cart, bring Jack around. Going to break the grate, shoot him once, shoot him twice, get a double stagger. He's going to do some inventory management here now while Jack gets into the car because he's hitting the damage threshold he needed. And the last thing he's going to do is he's going to hit 1 more shot to Jack's head as he's driving. Ends the fight easily. That is the perfect Jack one that you want to get. Now Nyiddle's going to do the same. Let 3 rip into Jack.
So this fight is all about manipulating Jack's movement in AI to be as quick as possible. to get to the points we need him to get to as fast as he possibly can, and to save as much time as possible. So this fight isn't really about damage, it's all about manipulating Jack's AI so it doesn't do anything wonky.
Yeah, an NG punch is easy for us to hit the damage thresholds that we need, so that's not really a big concern. Neither runner gets what's called shelf block, which is not really a soft block, but it's an annoying barrier the game puts up that is random, and that shelf that Jack broke at the beginning wouldn't normally break. And you'd have to drive the car or bait him around to really get it to work. It's a pain in the ass. So neither runner had that problem. So the pace remains the same. They both had very clean Jack ones. Neither lost time over the other. But now we start arguably one of the more difficult sections of the game, of the speedrun rather, which is the out-of-bounds setup. And there's a lot that goes into this. But thankfully both runners got wall skip. So it makes it a little bit more bearable.
It saves you about 2 seconds on the way back, doesn't it, coming through a few times.
Mm-hmm. So it's 1 second on the way back, but 2 seconds on the way to the hatch itself. So yeah, it's about a 3 second time.
Because you come through there twice. Basically, it's very specifically rooted here, so we can do a setup to basically get the fastest possible out of bounds, which is, as we discussed before, our out of sequence skip. So we're going through, and we've got to go grab a few different items during this little segment. I'm not sure what's the actual trigger for the Jack bathroom cutscene. Is it just literally post?
It's the wood statue. Yeah.
Interesting little thing there. You saw Ara close the door behind him going through that little section. It just makes it a little faster when you're coming back out of the room, because if you don't close the door behind you, you have to wait for the door animation to close before it'll let you progress.
So Ara is starting the out of bounds here. He grabs the ox statuette. Jack picks him up. The idea what Ara is going to do here is shoot him in the leg. He has unenhanced ammo loaded because he does not want to do too much damage, but he needs to get Jack to stagger. Puts Jack down to run around him. The idea is Ara needs to get downstairs to put the pendulum in to get the white dog head before Jack hits downstairs. This is so he can properly get Jack baited around. Gets the white dog head, Jack drops at a good time. This is actually a really ideal situation. Now, Ara's shooting to get Jack's attention. Jack's following. Now he's going to let one more rip into Jack's upper torso. So Jack staggers in the hallway. This is all to make sure Jack keeps following you, but isn't too close, so that he can still do the shadow puzzle.
We're in. There we go. So what can happen there is Jack can actually aggro a little bit too early in the hallway, and he can follow you too quickly, at which point he's too close for you to do the shadow puzzle, and the only way around that is to kill him and get him on the floor. It's a huge time loss. But it's all about timing in this section. Timing your hallway shot so he's close enough that he's still following you, and he's doing his bits and bobs, and both runners are in.
Yeah, so Nyiddle also having a very clean section with the out of bounds. Both runners had, you wouldn't see in a PB sort of good fortune with Jack behaving like this. So yeah, both have great Jack timings. Ara gets out of bounds and is running to the clip-in point. Nyiddle now setting up Jack to knock him down on the stairs. The reason Ara switched his FPS here so he can flip back and bounce correctly without getting stuck in the ceiling, but if you ask me, Ara was a little close to the stairs, but he got through anyway, so that's a very hype he got through, but also made me super nervous. Because you can get suspended in the air if you go too close to the stairs. Nyiddle clipping out, also passing back and
so much going on in this section, guys. It's just like, it's all go. There's certain points in this run where it's pretty quiet, and you'll just see me and Zeke just talking about whatever we can. Because there's some dead air in this run, but there's also parts where it's just all go. We do have another donation that I missed from the big dog Nyiddle himself coming in, and it's a big £10 donation. He says, "Hey Aragold, what you eating?" I'm assuming I missed the timing on that by a long way.
It was during the.
I'm so sorry.
The dinner cutscene.
I really messed up on
really
that
funny,
I completely missed it, but thank you for the £10, Nyiddle, and big flex doing it during the run. Look at this guy. Got time to donate.
So Ara's starting Jack 2 now. The idea is you don't want Jack to grab you instantly at the start of the fight. Ara gets grabbed instantly. Now you can still recover with a shot, which is fine. You knocked Jack down with one Albert shot. You saw him till he basically moves on to the second phase. Use the inventory management, grab the saw. shoot him again after this animation ends. He has to wait for the iframes to go away. And saw him again. Jack 2 is a bit of a pushover. Usually a pretty clean fight. Now Nyiddle also starting the fight.
So you can save a second here without getting the grab, which she does.
Yep. Nyiddle does not get instant grab, which is actually about a 3-second save. Oh, good God Almighty!
That was.
Jack
so I'd just like to also highlight, I know the runners are pretty thingy at the minute, but look at the difference in their menuing styles. Like, this game is kind of, there's no real right and wrong way to menu in this game. It's whatever you're comfortable with. It's whatever you can do fastest, and it's kind of the way you learn based off who you watch. But as we can see, the runners have very different inventory setups, but they basically have the same amount of slots, 3. They're just doing whatever they feel is most comfortable. It's just an interesting little gimmick. Every runner kind of has their own unique setups and what they do. I think I just follow very closely what you do, Zeke, to be honest, from what I remember, but even I've switched off to do my own stuff now. So yeah, it's an interesting little thing between each runner in this game.
That fight still went in Nyiddle's favor. I think he ultimately got 1 second closer. It would have been about 3 had Jack not been the monkey that he is, but it does be like that sometimes. Now they're both finished with the main house. R is on his way out. Just drop the dog, heads in. He's going to go answer a phone call from Zoe, and Nyiddle is going to do something very similar. I will say, though, Moon, like, both runners having a respectable guest house, both runners having a very, I would say both of them had an incredibly nice out of bounds.
Definitely. The out of bounds is the big sticking point from this house section. Like, Jack 1 and Jack 2 are pretty predictable. They're very set routine fights if you can just nail the first shots and stuff. But the out of bounds is where it gets a little wild. Just because you're reliant on Jack's AI and you're reliant on very precise positioning to get the quickest out of bounds you can. Otherwise, he can go slowly down the hallway if he's not aggroed you enough. He can go too quickly, preventing you putting the shadow puzzle in. There's just so much stuff that can go wrong there, and it's sometimes out of your control. Just how Jack reacts and stuff, and it can be literally to the point where you hit Jack on the wrong part of the body on that shot up the hallway, and he doesn't stagger enough, or he staggers too much, or whatever. So interesting.
Yep. So that's like the idea behind Jack, and that's why every shot is precise. And we could call out every shot that they're doing because every single one matters. Jack has many different parts of his body that have different health values. If you kill any of them, he will die. So that's why we shoot in different spots.
Something we haven't really touched on is you would have actually seen the runners changing the types of ammo they're using to adhere to those damage thresholds. So they will have been using non-enhanced ammo through that entire outbound section, which is something we didn't point out, but is actually incredibly key to this run, because you will just kill Jack if you continue to use the enhanced ammo.
One thing to know for sure, guys, is it looks like there's a slight time difference. I will let you know that for sure. It is nobody's run yet. There are multiple skips in the game that will lose the time difference that currently exists, as well as boss strats as well. So, obviously, it looks like Nyiddle R has a little bit of a lead right now. It's no more than I would reckon 10 seconds. Lantern skip, Jack 3 fight, Alan skip, Alan 2 skip. All
even
these
March
skips
2 getting an unoptimal March 2 can cost you 5 seconds or so.
So they go through the nest. You saw R switch to 30 FPS. It's so the spiders on the door are easier to kill since there's less of their bodies basically to hit. And shadow puzzle, R is a pretty clean one. The shadow puzzles all have the same mouse movement to get them done quickly. Eagles left and then up. Spider is a little half circle left up. And then the Axeman is slight right straight up. So they'll all be following this, or a similar methodology to however they prefer it, to get that done before like the little, the interaction ends for them basically. Both of them can do the door.
Interesting properties.
The spider door
hence the 30 FPS usage there to do with the hitbox on the door handle, I'm just assuming. That helps us also hit a damage frame profile, because the damage from the saw is rendered differently in different frames, if I'm not mistaken, Zeke.
Yep, higher frames equals more damage from the saw, basically. And I'm just going to point out, even though it doesn't really matter since it's kind of time-gated, but Nyiddle had the sexiest shadow puzzle lineup I've ever seen for Spider. It was like pixel perfect. It doesn't need to be, but it was. You know, we appreciate it.
There's so much leeway on that puzzle too. It's so not necessary. Just flex
a little bit. Just letting him know that
he definitely could. Yeah, that's it. He just it's actually the most forgiving one in my opinion. Even though there's quite a lot of leeway on the eagle puzzle, the only one that there isn't too much leeway on is the third and final puzzle, which is the warrior puzzle, which is a bit of a meme in itself. You can lose a few seconds here if Marge sends the bugs after you, but both runners, I imagine, can get through this pretty cleanly. You can actually just take an uber safe line through that section. That just basically is really really clean to get through. You can be a bit riskier, which probably saves you a fraction of a second, and in my opinion, not really worth it because it can cost you 5. Yeah, those pretty safe lines there. You can cut that a bit, as I was saying, but it's just generally not worth the time lost versus the gains are just not really worth it.
Nyiddle, shooting the bug with the Albert is a risk I would never take. The Albert is loud as hell. Marge
and she can
hear
be stood.
And she will aggro through that door. She will be pissed that you shot that bug.
Do you explain the pseudo fight?
RS starting Marge. Yeah, so this fight's pretty easy. 1 Albert, 3 G17 shots kills Marge. She's a real big pushover. Because it's not the real boss fight. You can see that, I will point out Nyiddle's favor, he closed the gap a little bit. Now, when I mentioned earlier that this game is very optimized, it is incredibly optimized. We have figured out movement, we figured out interactions to the T. Ara, when he went down to get the crank, took a fast drop, which saves about 0.4. He grabbed the crank, head back up, but he missed the crank interaction early, and he got too close to a crank interaction. Nyiddle, on the other hand, did not fast drop. However, he did get a faster crank animation overall, and I think saved about a second over Ara, which is why the gap looks a little bit closer than it is.
Interesting thing, this is one of our final phone calls of the run now. After this point, we don't have to hit any more phone call triggers. So we're kind of done with phone calls, at least, after this one, which is always nice.
So, now we have Lantern Skip. This is a pretty big skip for the race and for the run in general. Instead of going upstairs to look at the empty lantern slot, we're instead going to go downstairs next to the hole and look up at the slot through the floor. And then we're going to line up and drop off and skip some animations. Ara hits the lantern skip. That is very precise movement. You can't, it's not very lenient for you, and if you mess it up, you're anywhere from a 5-second time loss to a 13-second time loss.
So Nyiddle could get pretty wild here and go for a really cowboy setup where you just literally... You can be really wild with lantern skip and just literally try and hit your points as fast as possible and just throw yourself into the hole and see what happens.
Shout outs to Catlink, another RE7 runner. She just YOLOs straight in. It scares.
I do not approve. No, I do not approve. Which doesn't skip, but it works. So that's all I heard. Ara starting the March 2 boss fight, 2 Albert shots, and then he's sawing her in the window. The idea is he's going to turn around now and wait for Marge to spawn again behind him, because Marge will spawn the closest place to where you are, where you're not looking. Saw her as she gets through the window, wait for her to jump down. 3 shots to kill her. 2 is ideal for the most optimal fight. 3 is not bad at all. It's better that she doesn't get away at all. Nyiddle also now starting the fight. Doing ideally the same strat, I'd reckon, 2 shots to her head and sawing her.
It's looking pretty good so far.
Nyiddle gets way more saw time in the window than I believe Ara did. He held it a bit longer. Potentially. It's kind of hard to say sometimes.
No, 3 shots still, but pretty much identical for that run. No time gained or lost from either runner there, which is quite nice.
I would say that maybe Nyiddle saves on this because Marge is close. So basically, you can't leave this room until you have the lantern, and the part that makes the gate disintegrate won't start until you're in the room with the lantern. So Ara killed Marge a little further away from that door frame, so he had to walk a bit further. So I would say that Nyiddle was faster in that regard. To critique these two, because they're both my friends, I'm just going to critique them because it's fun. Ara didn't hold the saw long enough in the window, which is why he didn't kill Marge in 2 shots. Nyiddle may have been able to kill her in 2 shots, except he shot her too early when she jumped down the stairs. Marge cannot die on the stairs.
Is she immune to damage on the stairs? Or?
But yeah. No, she just can't drop below 1 HP.
Makes sense.
But I'm just giving them shit. They're actually both doing an amazing job right now, so it's super fun to watch them. Yeah, relatively very clean pace, I would assume. If they have live split open, they know that they are probably on not that pace right now. But very
no, yeah, it's been really good. I'm just going to throw out there, PC Gamer by default coming in with a £10 donation. Thank you very much, sir. Didn't leave a comment, but we really appreciate that. Guys, we're at £3,329 raised so far. I reckon we can definitely hit 3.4 by the end of the run. What do we think? 3.4? Maybe even 7k. Who knows?
I think we could.
But thank you for that.
7,000. Moon promises $7,000 or pounds.
Sorry, I said rubles.
By the end of this
7,000 rubles. 7,000 moon rocks.
You want to look up the conversion rate on that one real quick? Let's see.
I don't know what that is. I may have just shot myself in the foot, but we'll roll with it. Now I have to donate.
That's 66 pounds.
Thank God.
But to touch on what they're doing right now is just routing, right? There's no real tips or tricks to this. There's one retry they do that you just saw Nyiddle do, which causes that molded outside the door to spawn, so he doesn't have this incredibly slow spawning animation and a lot higher frames. It's just a pain. Doing that retry.
Yeah, guys, if we get a train going, as Matt RPD rightly points out, you do get the Moon Rooms choo-choo, and I'll blast everybody's ears in this Discord. There's an added difficulty for the runners to have to ignore my choo-chooing. So there you go, and yeah, unfortunately, Choco's going to get blasted as well. Everybody's just gonna get the full choo-choo effect. Will you join me on choo-chooing, Zeke? We'll do some in-sync choo-chooing.
No, am I joining you? Is that what you just asked? There's no cold chance in hell, brother. I'm not a choo-choosman myself.
Love it. Yeah, but now we're coming in, basically, kind of just, I consider this like finishing up the admin for guest house now, sorry, main house, so we kind of have to go back to main house here to hit a couple of points. We need a key, need some cards and stuff, so the runners aren't really doing, there's nothing that can really go horrifically wrong in this section, until we get to Lucas' section, in my opinion. I mean, there's little bits of time saves, obviously movement. There's an interesting interaction with the door, just past where Aragold is here, where he wants to interact with it at the furthest distance possible, and then he wants to interact with it again from as further away as he can, because he wants the door to open quickly. So let's see if he gets it here. He's going to stand in a specific spot, and there we go. So the door flies open. If you're too close to that door, it'll open slowly and actually cost you a few seconds. So many interesting little tidbits in this run, in weird animation manipulations and everything like that going on all over the place that you might not necessarily notice, but they are going on. When we talk about this game being highly optimized, these are the things we're talking about that you might not necessarily see, but are definitely happening.
If you want an example of the slow door,
Nyiddle, have faith. So he's going to interact with it. He's going to stand at the edge of the stairs, and there we go. So there's the difference there, guys. The door opens slowly. It literally only costs you about a second, if that. But it's you know, we want every second saved.
You saw Ara go up and.
I never get the fast door.
Skip shouldn't even be allowed. Should be banned from the category.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. That was not me. That was Ross. Do not blame me. Blame the sky. We have a very notable member of our community, and not arguably, but is definitively what I would consider to be the granddaddy of RE7 speedrunning, who's Ross Rossi. So shoutouts to him. He found a majority of the skips in this game and optimal ways to implement them. So when I tell you he found some annoying stuff, he found some annoying shit for sure.
Jack 3 kill.
And we hate a lot of it. Yeah, Jack 3 kill, the wall skip. These are all Ross specialties. Those are his signature dish.
Choco asked in chat who has the quicker PB, and I'm pretty sure it's Aragold. Yeah.
It is Aragold. I think it's about like 16, maybe. Oh no, 11 seconds now, because Nyiddle recently PB'd. But
what was his new PB? I didn't know that.
1:27:49.
That must
1
be
second off
devastating.
of 5th place.
Yeah. Yeah, you ask him where he lost it.
Yeah, and it was to a 5-shot.
Oh really? Oh man, that is
instead of
actually
4.
heartbreaking.
It was the most
I
ridiculous
feel
thing I've
bad
ever
for my
seen.
comment now.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw in there that this big boss incarnate coming in with the £5.69 hype. It's day 2. Let's get the dono train going. Enjoying the race, lads. Keep at it. So for the first train, guys, we're just gonna have a little choo choo. Nothing too big until the train gets going, and then we might hear the coming in. But we'll see. We'll see how much it gets going. There we go.
I'm torn. I want donations for the great cause, but do I also want to hear Moon Choo Choo?
He pretends he doesn't like it, guys, but he actually loves it. He DMs me at night asking me to send him voice clips of choo chewing.
Is that true?
Time to get my Photoshop skills.
Both runners now at the Lucas TV. For a little fun fact for those who don't know, there is something called TV skip that we have never been able to find, but there's been videos of it where the TV exploded at the start of this very cutscene. And it happened with 2 different scenarios, 2 different versions of the game, but both on PS4. We don't know why. With the help of the great VGR, we went through and checked memory for all potential options of why this might happen, and I'm happy to report we didn't find shit. So now we have no idea still why that happened. That's a 3-minute time save that we wish
have
we could get.
another donation from Nyiddle himself. Thank you for another £10 donation. And he says, "Hey Aragold, what you watching?" Choo choo. It's gonna come. Corey Reynolds coming in with a £5 donations, and he's like, and that's all it is. And I'm gonna throw in the choo choo, and we're just gonna get there. We're gonna get louder and louder, guys. Every donation. Thank you so much to everybody who's donated. You're all wonderful people. We love you. And the louder, the more train, the bigger the train, the bigger the choo choo, guys. That's how it works.
I will mute my co-commentator if I have to.
He loved.
We're talking over each other the whole race.
How are you guys feeling about the run so far? Let's get some runner questions in. How are you guys feeling? You both hit the cutscene. You're both pretty close still. Are we nervous? Are we settling down?
Pretty good pace, I think. Yeah.
I kind of anticipated that. You guys are doing pretty well.
About 4 seconds.
Nice.
Same, dude. Wow.
Yeah.
Same. Except that
Probably gives
granted
us
your
an
PB.
indication they're about yeah, 10 seconds
10
apart,
seconds
yeah.
or so apart, if I had to guess.
Good shots there going through
Yeah.
the Lucas section from Mara. Very clean. No, the key through that section is just not getting slowed down. You just want to keep moving at full speed.
Yeah.
Any time spent in a slower speed state is time lost. You can get through there without slowing down at all. You can also make a really wild shot there where you whip back. Did you go for that shot, Zeke, on the door coming into the keypad?
No, only on New Game Easy have I ever done that successfully.
Right, okay. I was going to say, I don't know who actually attempts it in a run because it's so minute. So good so far for Nyiddle.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Nyiddle hits every single shot first time, not a
That's
single
good. Both
miss.
runners flying.
Beautiful. You love to see. Nice shooting text. He gets the heal to get him out of the box. His run is blessed. So the idea about this section is you go to the keypad and Lucas basically tells you that, hey, you need the passcode. We know the passcode. It's 1408. It's stored in memory already. But we're not going to put it in. Because if you do, he'll change it on us. So we just close out of it. We drop some items into the box that are not New Game Plus items. We do it in a specific order because when we take stuff out of the box later in the game, we need to have our quick menu items, our 1, 2, 3, 4, to be the Albert, the saw, the grenade launcher. We need those important items. So this helps us guarantee that, basically. And you'll also notice that they put their cursor in a certain spot. This is for the battery when they pick it up, which R is about to grab to put into the generator. To start the weakest boss fight in the game, I'd say, for NG+, aside from maybe Marge 1. But basically, they're just going to let it rip on this fat molded as he comes down the elevator. And then as the elevator doors open, they shoot him a couple times in the leg to kill him.
There is a quick kill animation, but it doesn't really make a difference at the end of the day, as long as you get him down within enough time to hit the trigger, because the trigger doesn't actually go live for about, I think it's on a set timer from when the elevator door opens, but basically, Doesn't really matter if you get the quick kill because you're there before the trigger activates anyway, and it's not affected by how long the molded takes to die.
Exactly, and you'll notice now R will ditch items from his inventory shortly. If you delete New Game Plus items from your inventory, they will go back to the item box instead of having to stop there to put them away. And we need the items out of the inventory because Lucas will not let us into the puzzle room with items in our inventory.
Just gonna throw in a couple more donations here. We have G Mundy coming in with £5, and he said, "Did I hear a £5 choo?" We're gonna get louder and longer, as I like to. that's what I say every time. And then we have the Rewinder coming in with a £2 donation, who says, "Hello, Aragold. I love you." What a cute donation. Winder, welcome on into the stream. And Monday, thank you for the £5 as well, sir. What a hero. Just going to throw it out there, guys. There is an incredible prize for the total top donations for the event, which is a signed Mia poster by the voice actress K.E. O'Hagan, which is an incredible prize for whoever donates the most cumulatively throughout the marathon. So, guys, if you're interested in that, I think you've got a pretty big number to beat now. I'm pretty sure Mundy must be really up there. I'm not sure who's in the lead, but thank you so much to everybody and the rest of the prizes. As Peril has so wonderfully just put in chat, guys, just seen there. But thank you for the donations, guys. You're all amazing. And we're at £3,356.69. Can we get the 33.69.69 though? That's the real question.
That is the real question. I'd love to see this marathon hit 69.69.69, but
We'll wait for it.
We'll wait for it.
Maybe for the next RE run tomorrow.
So they're starting. The puzzle section here. The idea is you light the candle, put it on the cake, very easy. You just gotta solve a couple quick puzzles, changing the lock code to loser to get the valve, go turn the water off, relight the candle, put it in the cake. Usually pretty simple. There's not much of a variance in this section other than the door animation, which you can get a fast or a slow one, which is about a half second or so. And then the valve animation, where you can be close but not instantly, or far and have to walk in animation, which again, very similar. Time loss if you do it slowly.
Just gonna throw out one more quick donation while we're in this section. Shinky DX comes in with another donation for £5, and he's like, "A shovel of coal for the train. Choo, 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 choo. We're gonna keep going. I none of you can see this, but my hand goes up and pulls an imaginary choo-chooer every time, and I only just realised I do it. So I'm pulling on that whistle, guys, every time. My arms get.
Rest assured, Moon. I'm sure we all probably had guessed that.
There we go. So my little arm goes up every time, and Choco can confirm that. I only realised she could see me doing it until a second ago. So I thought I was safe, but then, yeah, Baron is right. I yank it all the time.
Alright, so based on this puzzle section, I would say they both had a very clean one. No one really had any big mistakes. If anything, Nyiddle maybe came ahead by like 0.2 due to a valve animation, but otherwise, not bad. Ara pulls items out of the box. The idea is they pick up the bomb, then put it through the hole. It's actually 1 second faster to do it this way. Because the bomb's internal clock timer just goes off sooner for some strange reason. But now they're coming up on Jack 3. Now, Jack 3 is can be a pretty big turning point. Because there's a method for New Game Plus that we follow, which is very straight line. Not many issues can really happen, because the fight is just kill the eyes as soon as the iframes end, basically. And because of the tools we have, basically the saw, makes that pretty easy. It used to be easy, and then the Scott, Rossi, discovered a way in which we could skip Jack's final death animation by killing Jack's last eye on the earliest possible frame after he exits his iframes. And the way we do this is we bring one eye on Jack's body, usually the one on his left lower stomach, down to 1 HP. Now that eye already has a small health pool, but we try to bring it down to 1. And you'll notice them doing damage to it, but not killing it throughout the fight, which I'm assuming they're both going to go for it, because these guys are Chad runners. And if you don't get it, you don't lose time from your original fight. You just lose the potential 5-second time save, which is gargantuan time save in this game, if you get it. So no pressure on the
yeah,
runners.
like people like 5 seconds is nothing for the
good luck.
length of run, but when a run is this optimized, guys, it's huge for any consistent runner of the game. 5 seconds is, you know, like we're all fighting for split seconds when we go for PB. Not me, I'm fighting for minutes still, but these guys are on another level, and these guys are fighting for every second they can get. And Nyiddle there having a bit of a wonky molded there. He didn't really slow you down too much, but it's still a time loss, which we would be pretty disappointed at. I could see it in his face when it happened, but nobody would really even notice that. But it's pretty wild.
The crawler jumped back, which made a nice one. But alright, so R starting Jack 3, I'll pretty much explain everything as he's doing it. But the first thing that's going to happen is R is going to let a shot rip into Jack's face, and then he's going to let a shot rip into the lower underside of Jack's tail, which is the hardest eye to kill, but he can kill with one shot with the Albert. It's crucial that we do this so that Jack phases. He's going to let another one go on his stomach to bring that eye down to 80 health. He'll kill this eye. He's going to reload his Albert and take out the eye on the tail with the G17. Again, you see the tail's not dying because it has eye frames. He'll saw Jack's right eye on his arm. He's going to move in front of his head to do the head eye as well. Another shot rip on that eye. Now that eye is officially at 1 health. Let's bring it down for good measure and then kill the eye on his back. And then Ara's going to loop around his body, switch to 30 FPS.
So clean from Ara.
And attempt to get...
It just looks so clean.
Ara gets the Jack quick kill.
That was...
Nyiddle also starting the fight. He's going to follow a similar method to what Ara just did, except he's going to take out the arm eye first. It's really up to preference on this one.
That was really wild, guys. That was pretty crazy.
So Nyiddle kills the tail eye. It's that eye. Now the eye underside of Jack. Again, it's now down to 1 HP. He's going to take out, for good measure, bring it even lower if he could. Doing the exact same thing that Ara did, switching to 30 FPS. You got shoved around through Jack's underarm. If you're too close to Jack when you do that, that's what'll happen.
Oh my god, I'm minus 8.
Here he goes. New world record. Hype. Let's go. Just gonna see an insane PB here if he carries on.
What did you mess up to be
I had a
minus
really
8.4
bad
now?
Jack 3 on my PB.
If I had to guess,
Really bad.
based on hearing the numbers, I'm going to have to go on a limb and assume that on your PB, you probably missed the undertail eye shot, which loses 3 seconds, and then you didn't get Jack quick kill, which is 5 seconds.
That sounds about right.
So I'd reckon that's it. Obviously, they both still had an incredibly clean Jack 3. I will say, other than the quick kill, Nyiddle's Jack 3 was cleaner, because Ara missed a couple tail shots, and Jack ended up moving, which hurt him a little bit. Nyiddle did not have that same problem, but he didn't get the quick kill. So ultimately, Ara pulls a little bit further ahead. But it's on good
I was
pace.
going to say, we did have one donation coming in from Chocoletti, who donates £10.69 and says, lots of love to everyone putting on this event. Also, nice. Thank you so much for that 10.69. we always love a good 69 here at REMarathon, so let's keep them coming. Oh, alright.
So this is another scheduled potty break that we have during the run. We have a few of those.
Yeah.
This is the third and final one. Oh, no, there's one more. There's another one at another Ethan cutscene. So this is your potty breaks. If you do reckon you need one. Nyiddle, a champion, probably has the bottle under his desk because he is a gamer. He does not need to get up and go to the bathroom.
Little pop down there. Sells it to his fans, guys.
He's optimized. This one's been insane, actually. Even though Nyiddle didn't get Jack 3 1 cycle, I'd reckon he's still on pretty good
I was going to
pace.
say, the run so far.
Yeah, I'm on, like, it's plus 0.23, so it's really, really close.
So sexy. You love to see it.
This is some near flawless runs coming out then, guys. Like, both of them on PB pace, but it's all to throw away. It is still within a skip or two of each other. We have another donation from Nyiddle coming in with his third donation of £10, and he says, Aragold, you better have done wash hand %. I actually messed that hand wash percent. Sorry, I don't
wash
know why I
hand
reversed
percent?
that.
I did wash hand percent.
I don't believe him.
Yeah,
He's doing
that
a lying
can happen.
percent now.
I've never
Somebody
washed
get the
my hands
UV
in
lights
a
on them.
while.
Let's see.
Don't do that. Okay. Yeah, this cutscene's coming to an end shortly, but we still have about 30 seconds.
Yeah,
to
it's
a
quite a
minute
big
left
one.
of
You
it.
can make a brew in this game. It's my favourite cutscene because you can make a brew. Like, you got enough time. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make a sandwich, do
Yeah.
your taxes.
I nap.
Contemplate.
You know, you just do
Why am I
whatever
learning
you
this? A little fun fact: both runners are on great pace. Both of these runners are people that I have personally coached on how to run this game. So it's super exciting to see them both do an amazing job so far in this marathon. I also coached Moon, but he's commentating.
He's less
not
proud
really,
of me,
so we
chat.
don't care
Don't
about him.
don't let him sugarcoat it for you.
Kind of a bastard.
If we were in feudal dynasties, I'd be out with the pigs. You know, that's how it is. These guys would be at the Lord's chamber.
But yeah, it's super awesome to watch them both have amazing pace. They've both come very far as runners. That's the first time I even helped them. So it's super sick to see them on these types of paces in a marathon. You guys have no clue how hard that is. You can sit there for hours on your own in the darkness, sweating, no pants on, like a gamer, and you will not be able to duplicate that kind of pace. It's just it's so hard. We go months. We go months without PBs. So this is hype, but they can still lose it. So I'm probably jinxing the whole thing, which is very funny. So now they're starting Mia, so Mia used to be the easiest part of the game, very straightforward. Back in the day, it was just point A to point B, no time saves, no skips. Unfortunately, then we got some skips. Again, thanks to the people, the community, Ross, all those guys for doing this, making this hard on us. Appreciate it. Basically, we have what's called the Mia tape, which what they're doing right now is they're running to get to the Mia tape. Mia tape has a few time saves in it that are pretty critical and crucial and annoying. They are Alan 1, the Molded in the Elevator, and Alan 2, which are all time saves that have been optimized. And if you were to miss all three, you're talking 30
it's
seconds
pretty huge.
plus a time loss. If you manage to miss all of them, it's about 30 seconds or so. It's assuming how bad Molded Elevator goes. You could lose them.
Yeah,
Amazing amount of time.
that Molded can be wild. Like, he just, I don't know what makes him act the way he does sometimes, but I hate him. Especially if you get the John Wick shot as well. Oh, yeah.
My record is 9 seconds.
He just rolls
9
around.
second
It's
long
like,
death
dude, chill
animation.
out. Just die quietly, please.
He's
Yeah.
going for an Oscar.
Yeah,
man.
he's
He's
like, he
putting
really
it
wants
out
to
there.
earn his screen time. Just going to throw out quickly the Rewinder coming in with another £2 donation saying, still waiting for Nyiddle to do Chex Quest bowl percent at a marathon. Nyiddle, is that on the cards? We getting that sorted?
Oh, man. Eating cereal really fast? Like,
Sure.
I mean...
Just during a cutscene.
We
Yeah,
should definitely have that
for
in
charity.
You'll eat some
I'll do
Chex.
it.
Could have done it in the cutscene.
So,
Yeah,
I will say
honestly.
Nyiddle has actually closed a 2-second or so gap, maybe about 1 second, due to triggering this helmet cutscene instantly, whereas Ara had a double back.
Yeah, I'm just, I did see that little juke to the side that I had to do. So we're talking points, you were talking about the ship skips before, so there's 3 specific kind of ship skips. One of them's not really a skip, it's just more of a, I guess, death manipulation. But coming up to the first one, which is the phone skip. So there's 2 major phone calls that happen in this run from our friendly neighborhood scientist Alan, who comes in and is definitely not the cause for all of this, but definitely is. But we basically aim to skip any time talking to Alan because we don't like him. He hit on us and we hate it, so we're trying to avoid time talking to him. We're going to go do something called phone skip, which means we're going to aim to get out of a room so quickly that Alan doesn't have a chance to talk to us. Do you want to go through the mechanics of that, Zeke?
Yeah. So, like Moon said, there's 2 phone calls Alan does, both about the same time. Except the first one is can be substantially longer because you're gated for moving for longer than the second one is. So what we do for the first one is called Alan 1. Basically, the idea behind it is that we go into the room where there is a big pile of mold. The game wants us to interact with it, and then Alan's going to call us instantly the second we do. So you'll see the runners line up at a kind of a halfway point between that and the door. They're going to open up the doors, interact with it, turn and run out. It's very time sensitive and incredibly hard. If without the walking shoes, it's a lot harder because you can't walk faster. You're instead walking at like base speed. So messing that up is a 15 to 20 second time loss. I can't remember what it is, but it is gargantuan. It is the difference of the run, basically. So as you see, Aragold sweating a little bit because he knows that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that turns out. But both of them had a pretty good pre-tape. But yeah, that's Alan 1. Following Alan 1, there's the molded elevator interaction. As we were talking about a second ago with the molded and its, Oscar death animation, basically the elevator can't move until two things happen. Either one, the molded is dead, or two, it is out of the elevator. So what we do in New Game Plus is we kill it. It has one very fast death animation, which involves its right leg dying first. So we do a strat now, where we shoot the molded as it's falling down the elevator, falling out of its shaft, and then we shoot it again as it hits the ground before iframes kick in, which kill it before iframes start, and you can immediately press the button. If done correctly, saves an incredible amount of time. If done incorrectly at all, you can lose anywhere from 2 seconds to 5 seconds to 9 seconds. You can lose a lot of time there.
Yeah.
And then Alan 2 involves a bomb, but I'll talk about that after we watch Ara attempt Alan 1.
Just had another quick donation coming in, although we are about to see Aragold attempt the first skip, so let's just see whether he gets that first.
Oh my god.
Oh god,
Ooh,
that felt
okay.
tight, but he gets it in the end, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just going to throw out there, we had another £5 donations from Just Matty M, who says, I hope Nyiddle, the fast boy, has enough juice. Do you have enough juice, Nyiddle? Nice. Good.
Always, dude.
Some would say he's juicy.
Juicy.
Ara's going to grab the items out of the item box now, and he is doing a safety strat. I respect it. He's instead going to go behind the molded inside its right leg. Still gets a little death animation, but that's about the 2-second one I was talking about earlier. Nyiddle going for Alan 1 here.
Pretty clean.
Nice, he gets it. Even watching people do it, my heart beats a little.
The timing
faster,
is so tight on that. You can make that a little easier. It's about 3 seconds slower because you have to grab an item to do it. But if you have the walking shoes there, it does make that skip a lot easier. But it...
Ara gets double cheap shot on his way through. Now, the cheap shots here are incredibly bad. Because, like I mentioned earlier, we're about to use a bomb on ourselves to skip a phone call. Nyiddle is doing the molded shot strategy.
That was pretty
and
wild.
He gets it, no death animation. So that closes the gap for Nyiddle by about 4 seconds, actually. Because Ara had a longer death animation. And now, you saw Ara put a bomb down earlier. This is so that when we get a phone call from Alan, we are going to blow ourselves through the door in which Alan is talking to us next to, so we can get through the door before the call finishes. On New Game Plus, this is a bigger time loss if you mess it up because you're faster with the walking shoes. The problem is you don't want to knock yourself down by being too close to the bomb, so position matters a lot. You also want to make sure you're close enough for them to get knocked and staggered through the door. You do not want the bomb
or blow you up. The absolute worst is when
molded
it blows you up and you don't go through the door, and then you're in a red health state with a slower walking speed as well. Like it can, if you get it misplaced, then it can be a matter of pixels to some degree if you're close to the line with it. Straight through.
Ara gets his boost. Now, we're kind of hoping Ara does not get cheap shot anywhere. He is knocking on caution right now. Getting put into danger here is awful.
He didn't get the stagger on that molded, but it still let him through, so no more cheap shots.
Mm-hmm.
This bit can be a little wild here, but less time, because I think you've got time to heal in the lift, even if you do go to caution. Having a little bit of audio delay.
It's a little bit of a lag. He gets through just fine. Now it's time for Nyiddle's double D skip or bomb skip. He gets it. He actually had a faster run because he had the bomb further from the door. That's so interesting. The both of them had a relatively clean tape. I will argue that Nyiddle had the perfect tape. Ara still makes it through. Ara is still saving time. He did not lose too much time to that molded elevator shenanigan. But he did take a safety strat, which ultimately was smart. So Nyiddle doing the fast gamer strat, ultimately not smart, but it worked out. So
yeah, well, Nyiddle's now like, so we're hitting the tail end of the run now, guys, where the amount of times to make time saves is running out. So Nyiddle's going to have to start using these progressively more YOLO strats to try and work back the seconds he needs to for if we get any, in case there's any severe mess-ups from Aragold. Even though the likelihood of a severe time loss now is, I think, pretty much done, we can still gain seconds here and there through the mine, through bad menuing, through just little bits and bobs. But so yeah, it's still kind of all to play for. They're in that bracket where a severe mess-up from Aragold, even just, you know, a substantial hit with the slow stagger animation is putting him back into Nyiddle's clutches.
So they're both still close. I would reckon it's back to that 10-second gap that it was at before. Maybe a little bit less, but 10 sounds about right. Because of the time save that Ara got from Jack 3 versus the time save Nyiddle got from the tape. I think it balances out, which is very interesting. Now, in terms of what we were talking about, where the run can still be lost from Ara, there are a handful of spots where that can still happen. Obviously, opposite from stuff like the game is going to do to him, there's Evelyn injection he still needs to do. There is the salt mines kind of gauntlet.
Oh, the elevator, yeah, that could be it's pretty reliable.
The elevator could quite literally kill a run if the elevator goes badly. And then other than that, it's menuing. You can lose time to pulling items out of the end box if you do it incorrectly, like, at all, which would be pretty bad. But other than that, those are like what I would think would be the biggest things. And obviously, shots on Evelyn at the end. You want to get 4 shots. I've never heard of someone getting 5. That'd be kind of wild.
Yeah, if you don't move the mouse, I think the worst you can do is 4 shots.
Never happens, dude.
It's never happened in the history of RE7. No one has done 5 shots. That's asinine.
Unless they're on PB pace. We're coming through to the end of the snip. So, we're coming up to the one skippable cutscene that still counts towards IGT for whatever reason. Madness that is this game and its inconsistencies should never fail to surprise you at this point. So, it's actually, to be honest, the most entertaining cutscene in the game, which is annoying. From terms of just like pure theatrical spectacle, I guess. Which is the tanker getting ripped apart in the storm and sort of shows you Eevee being unleashed into the swamp. The gap, I'm just going to throw it out there, the gap probably looks a little inflated due to us being in real time when the timer is actually that we're going to go off for the race result is in game time. So it may look like Aragold is a little further ahead than we're saying, but it's purely because of the difference in time spent in menus. Nyiddle's done some extra menuing here and there where it doesn't count towards the overall time of the run. So that's just going to highlight that, which is why, even though it looks like they might be drifting further apart, it's more just because of different menus and strategies they're using.
I will say that Ara clicks through his menu, and Ara can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he clicks to get through to different adjustments and frame rate and stuff, whereas Nyiddle uses WASD. Yep. So Ara gets through his inventory, his menu, ultimately a lot faster. But it's not counted towards IGT, so that's why you'll see this difference. Also, Nyiddle left the bottom of the ground during the Allen cutscene. I'm not sure if anyone caught that. Very silly business to be doing that, but I respect it.
You gotta blow
don't let Easy take him. Absolutely. Take him. Guys, I'm just going to throw it out there. We're only £11 from hitting 3.4k. I definitely think we can make a push for that. Everyone got a penny in chat to chip in? Let's go.
Let's get it.
I know, right?
Definitely. Oh, there is one thing. God Door.
God Door.
Forgot about God Door. Ara's going to pick up a knife. The idea is to open the door as late as possible and leave before the door closes, or it will close on you. For the sounds of it, Ara got it. He did. You can hear the gamer sweat on Ara. It's amazing.
You can hear it through his hands clicking. You can hear the splash rather than a click.
Alright, he grabs a bomb. The idea for this bomb is to blow up this crawler instead of going around it.
I will also match you, Matt.
Easy peasy.
There we go. We got 4 matching Matt on a £5 dono. Let's go, guys. Oh, there we go. Somebody chipping in 10 as well. Wow. Let's go. 5. We got 5-6 people on the £5 train at the minute. So yeah, God Door it's one of those things that looks really mystical, but once you get the kind of movement down, it's not as hard as it looks, in my opinion. Like, once you learn the trick is to just open the door close to your face, yeah, it's kind of good.
So, you'll notice a difference in the way Nyiddle did this versus Ara. And this is where I talked about the inventorying earlier in the game mattered tremendously. Nyiddle, from what I understand, does not set up his inventory to allow to pick up that knife to hit that bomb, because if you do that, you are stuck with that knife and it takes up an inventory slot, and it just so happens to be in the way of all your items later in the game. So Nyiddle eats about a 1 second to 1 to 2 second time loss there to avoid that problem later, which makes perfect sense, because it would relate to even more time loss if he decided to try it. Ultimately, it didn't really do anything. So now you'll kind of see now how close they actually are. Is Nyiddle is going to the exact same section that R is passing through, so they're close, and it's definitely very, very exciting to see this. The idea of this whole section here, this post Mia tape, is just to get the fuse, get the power cable, get the elevator working again, so that you can get to Ethan as fast as possible. R had a slight menu mismanagement there when he tried to interact with the fuse section. He instead interacted with the wrong slot. So potential time grab from Nyiddle if he closes that gap.
Right, guys, I'm gonna come in and just run through some donations if we've got a little bit of time. That's okay, because we've just had a lot come in. I'm just gonna say, just Matt Yem kicking off with £11 donation, saying you guys are doing brilliant thing. I'm gonna add in the S things. We're doing brilliant things.
No, only one person. Only one person is doing something brilliant.
Thing. I'm not sure what thing was brilliant, but guys, you nailed that brilliant thing. Lil Sil coming in with £5 to £5 to match. Whoop. We got a good whoop there. We got Treadway0311 with £5 saying let's go. Crazy coming in with the £5 with no comment. Pakorka coming in with £5, no comment as well. Thank you so much for this, guys. Matching that. Life's Meaning 42 coming in with another £5, matching with the wonderful Matt RPD. Says £5 match. Choo choo. There we go. Got to do it. We got Patron Saint of Pizza, fantastic name, coming in with the £10 donation. Wow, I know who I'm praying to tonight. And then we have the wonderful Mr. Matt RPD, our glorious leader here, coming in with a £5 donation, saying, Moon, start the train, dude. I'm just going to do it. And then I have jumped in with the £5 donation, saying Captain Ezekiel is my hero. Big hearts. Could have said it anyway, but I took down a donation, so there we go. Thank you to everybody who donated. That puts us well above. Oh, G Mundy coming in with the £5 do, saying he's coming in, guys. He's making it happen. He's saying more choo choo, much to the chagrin of Mr. Ezekiel. And there we go, guys. £3,450. What an insane little jump that was, guys. I really appreciate the £5 dono train. You're all amazing. Just about £50 to go now to 3.5k. Holy poop, guys.
Hell yeah, brother.
I was gonna swear then, but I was thinking of a boy and this event.
I'm gonna just toss something here regarding the run real quick. Now, Nyiddle, if I had to guess, that may or may not have been a juicy split. Based on what I saw, No,
it was damn close though. That was like a really good ship for me.
It
like,
looked really clean. Same for Arrow as well. They both looked really smart.
Yeah.
This is.
Nyiddle,
I'm not gonna lie, guys. You're probably witnessing 2 runs that have qualified for top 5 times, top 6 times. You're literally looking at 2 times. These are going to be like, 5 of the fastest ever runs recorded in this game for different people.
So what I'm going to say is, Nyiddle had like his post tape was certainly really good, and his tape was good. His there's a molded as you exit the elevator as you run towards Ethan, that if it cheap shots you, it makes it so that the crawler immediately after will always jump back if it does the immediate cheap shot. Nyiddle got that. Ara didn't, I don't believe, but is still ahead, obviously. But you could tell Nyiddle closed the Jack 3 gap a considerable amount and some now as a result. Yeah, it's definitely gotten way closer. If you notice, like, look at where they're at in the cutscene right now, right? Like, this is so much closer than what it was earlier. No pressure. Runners.
No, just while we finish up this cutscene before we get into mines, Katigo comes in with the £5 donation saying, "You're both winners in my heart." What a cute donation, Katigo. Thank you so much. Matt RPD has come in with another £5 and says, "Shink, drop that 10, dude. Let's go." I mean, Shinky, how could you not after such a wonderful plea from our boy Matt RPD. Thank you so much, guys, for continuing the £5 hype train. We're now only £40 away, and as I'm speaking, Shinky DX coming in with a £10 donation. Good race, good vibes. Hit that choo choo, because that's what it says in the donation. So I had to peel off at the end. Ezekiel's never going to want to come and do these marathons with me ever again. I'd say he's never going to let me.
We've done like 10 now or something. It's just where it's like 5% worse every time.
It's all for a good cause.
I do it for charity. That's what I'm going to tell the world. So very nice. Thanks for the donations, guys. Kateko said you're both winners in our hearts. I'm here to tell you that is not true. One of you wins, one of you loses, and I will make fun of the loser.
Yeah, we're all going to gang up on them in the RE7 Discord later, whoever loses, guys, so they know what's at stake. They know what's on the line.
I will add, if either of you are feeling at all bad about the crouch you did at that little hole, just so know, both of you made that same mistake, so don't feel too bad.
Alright.
Yeah, you both made the exact same mistake.
Oh, sick. Thank God.
Alright, so now I'm going to point out something here. Ara picks up the grenade launcher and doesn't go to the end box. This is because of the 3-second optimization that I talked about earlier with picking up items later in the game. He's instead going to go straight to the elevator. He eats a cheap shot from the first one, which is not ideal, which means this last guy's going to swing. Oh, he gets a cheap shot. He gets in the elevator. That is so unbelievably lucky
as well.
That happened. Yeah, so what happened there is he didn't get button skip or anything, which is what can happen is a molded will hit you out of the button animation. But when you get hit by that first molded and then the second molded winds up an attack, that usually means the third molded is going to have a delayed attack, which can hit him into the elevator with you. If he crosses that threshold, your run's dead. You actually can't fix it. It's pretty bad. The elevator won't move.
You don't have enough ammo to kill them, basically, so you have to retry.
Yeah. The flame shot also won't kill him. Yeah, you will have to do like a reload. So now Nyiddle also going to the button.
I do want to say we have hit 3,500 guys. Well done. I'm just going to read these donations quickly. Nyiddle having decent elevator. Treadway coming in with the £5 saying almost there. And then Baron Tentacle, thank you so much for the huge £30 donation, my friend. Coming in and saying, I can't think of anything funny, which actually made me laugh. So, GG on that one. And there we go, £3,500 raised, all for the Mental Health Foundation, guys. Super important charity that affects so many people day in, day out, and it's an amazing cause everyone's come together for. Thank you to everybody who's donated as part of the train and during the RE7 run. It's always amazing to see the community coming out and supporting the runners. It's a very tight-knit community, and yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. You guys are awesome. Let's keep it going.
You'll see Ara put the item in here. Now, he basically, because we have time for that to make the Necrotox, he's going to go into the item box, grab his items out, which is where this time save... This is the time save we've been setting up since Lucas. Or technically speaking, since Jack 1, we've been setting this up. For 3 seconds, yes, we are all very sweaty. And now that whole interaction makes it so that now he has the grenade launcher equipped, the Albert equipped, which he needs to progress through the salt mines. The salt mines is relatively straightforward. The behavior is usually pretty static. The idea behind salt mines is you want to get through it, kill the molded without them touching you or stopping you, which can be accomplished with the Albert and the grenade launcher if done correctly. So now, there's also a retry that you'll see Aura do here in a second. This retry makes him incredibly fast. It's eating the zoomies.
It's such a big time
super
save.
Quick.
And on our whole, like...
Yeah, it's the biggest retry in the game.
Huge. You just have so much speed coming up here. The whole aim of this spiral here is just make sure you don't get slowed down once by anything. Do not want to stop moving at this increased run speed. You just want to get through it. Doesn't matter how. Everyone kind of has their own little strats for getting through here, but as long as you don't slow down, it's a win in whatever book you're doing. And Ara's pretty flawless.
Ara has a perfect salt mines. These two fat molded really easy to get around on New Game Plus. We basically just shoot a neuro round at them to stop them from being able to act, because the neuro round will stun them. If the fat molded are left to be able to move or hit, they will knock Ethan off the ladder, which is a massive time loss.
So interesting thing that Nyiddle did there was he actually frame buffered, or I guess pause buffered his auto save. Kind of got held up by the thing though, which actually meant he got his retry off sooner, which will actually save more time. Not too much time because they're both moving pretty quick, but he will have started to move faster sooner, which, you know, it all makes a big difference, guys. Nyiddle getting held up twice there, but very minimally. Probably still made out a few seconds.
Yeah.
There.
So Nyiddle, kind of like obviously fortunate and unfortunate the way that unfolded is that he was able to flip around a molded that didn't die to the first shot of the neuro round and Albert shot. So it didn't actually hold him up, he just had to take a wider line. And then that last one, cheap shot him, which put the molded out of the way of the path. So he was actually able to squeeze through without actually getting stopped by that molded as well, which is kind of nutty. Now we're approaching the final part of the game. If you listen closely, you can hear Arnold sweating. It's because I imagine he's still on good pace. Because from what I've seen, it's been pretty good. And I would reckon that Nyiddle also is still on good pace, not to jinx it. But they both have had very good runs. Like, this is so... like, you don't see a race like this where two people usually have good runs like this. So it's super nice. But there's one or two things still left in the game that they have to worry about. It's not over yet. And unfortunately, it's a very manga-esque moment because it's at the very end of the game, which is the Evelyn one cycle. Evelyn, basically what you're going to see is they're going to go upstairs and Evie's going to be knocking them back. You're going to have to block one knockback. Then you want to get to Evelyn right as she does the second one, which means you can't be blocking for it if you want to get the injection off the one cycle because you'll be too slow. You basically will interrupt the knockback animation with the injection animation. If you fail it, but since you're not blocking, you will get knocked down. You will lose 8 seconds.
Ara happens to take a wide line there for a very aggressive Mia.
Ara blocks. Gets nice. The one cycle.
I thought by the sound of what you said then, because we get the sound a little earlier that things had just gone wrong, but still pretty good. It was very borderline, but still worked.
That is the coined staple Resident Evil 7 speedrunner. I hit them EV one cycle on a PB paced run. That's what that little motion you saw him do, and that breath. That's like the sweet mother of Christ. That's finally. I have to worry about that part.
Guys,
now,
can
Nyiddle
I just
also going up.
interrupt here very quickly? Crazy came in with a £5 donation and said New York Iddle, which was pretty wild. But then just Matty M coming in with the £100 donation, and he says, "I think chat wants to hear a 1 minute long choo choo at the end of the run. I will do my best. I'll wait till the end of the run then."
That is super unfortunate for Nyiddle getting knocked down by Evelyn.
So yeah, but thank you for the £100 donation, Matt. Yeah, holy shit, dude. Oh, I did sweat. Yeah, £100. Thank you so much, dude. That's insane. We're now over 3,600. What a wild time. And this is pretty much the end of the run now. There's only a small differentiation here where we can get a 4 or, you know, well, hopefully maximum 4 shots, but we'll see. Poor Nyiddle. We love you, Nyiddle. Big hugs.
Big hugs, Nyiddle. I mean, the run's amazing. I can't say anything about the EV1 cycle. I too have failed it on PB and record paces. It gets the best of us. It's a pain in the ass because if you're looking too hard to the left, you can't get the one cycle because you have a like.
I blocked too long. I like felt it. I totally felt it. Yeah. It was just.
I mean, I get it,
dude. I was minus 1.5 getting into that. So
that's annoying because that would be 5th place. I'm assuming. Did it not? Oh.
Yep. It was exactly 127.
When I get to America, I'm gonna come cuddle you for this moment.
Dude, I wasn't sweating until I messed that up. Now I'm so sweaty.
Now Ara has to go for his 4 shot. With me 1, 2, 3, 4, nice. And Nyiddle definitely. Sorry. Argold definitely hits a PB here, if my math is correct.
Are we close to up in a position now?
Yo, GG.
Isn't this the second time you've PB'd at an event now?
Well done, man.
This last 2
events. Yeah, because I was commentating the last time you got a PB. Because I remember I had to go clip it for you so you could submit the clip. Matt, you just...
That should be sub 127.30.
A huge milestone.
30?
Have you taken Zeke's place? Are you now faster than Zeke?
No. Let's all calm down. I'll calm down for a second. That is an insane time, dude.
Just to put this into perspective, guys, my PB is like a 1:28.40, and I played this game a lot. So just to tell you how rapid this game, like these guys are going, like that is crazy. That is literally crazy speed. Congratulations, Ezekiel. What a Aragold on the huge PB, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on training such a wonderful prodigy.
Aragold. That's an insanely nice time. I don't think it moves you up a place because I think that Ticknote does have in the 10s, he's 19 or something along those lines.
Yeah, he is. But sub 127.30. That's just insane. Like that's all I could have asked for from my next PB. That's incredible.
Nice.
And now we'll see Nyiddle's time, which is I can't read it because the resolution is so low. What is that?
127.55. Still sub 28. Still really rapid, dude.
Yeah. The 8-second time loss. Yeah. That. Oh, I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, it was exactly. So we were like minus 1.5 getting into that EV, and then plus 8 as a result of getting knocked down. So we actually finished plus 6 because we saved time on the 4 shots for some reason. So, but either way, very excellent. I'm proud of my boy Aragold for PBing. I would not have lost any other way. I guarantee it. If he didn't PB,
he would have. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it's one of those things that like just one single thing going wrong could have changed the result of this race. Still, given the time frames.
I will say that you both had excellent, exemplary runs that ours pull out obviously a PB, not just a PB, but an insane PB. Nyiddle, obviously getting knocked out by Edwin sucks. It's a pain in the ass. Like you need to acknowledge how unbelievably amazing your post March 2 to end of before Evelyn was. That was so clean. Like you made no mistakes. Literally not a single mistake other than Jack 3, which I haven't even concluded that is an RNG yet. But like you good run. You both did absolutely amazing. Neither of you should feel bad in any way. Obviously R doesn't feel bad. But like you shouldn't feel bad in any way at all. You did fucking great. Like I was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that just having the opportunity to run for such a great cause, really, that's the most important part here. But all in all, this is way better than all of the practice I've done for this marathon in the last 3 days. This is the best run of the last 3 days. So you guys did actually get the cream of the crop.
Crazy good pace. £10 donation coming in from Tompano as well, saying pull that choo-choo and moon pie. I'll wait till just before we go off for the next run to do the minute-long choo-choo. I'll let Ezekiel leave the room.
That's fair. I appreciate
I
that
got
one.
you. Don't you worry. I've even got a stopwatch up. Just to go for it. But guys, that was an amazing run. Aragold, congratulations on the PB and the win. How are you feeling, dude? Let's get your feedback. How do you feel right now?
So happy. I've tried to stream RE7 over the last few weeks, and I've just been getting so frustrated because the runs have been so bad. So I'm so happy that finally it's gone well, and at the marathon of all times for it to go well, I'm so happy that it chose now. You know. So yeah, I'm very
So
happy.
of course, commiserations to Nyiddle, but still a fantastic run. Anything sub 28 in this game is huge, guys. So really well done, Nyiddle. I hope you don't feel too bad about the lost PB, but you've done it once, you can do it again, my friend. That's the real positive.
Dude, listen, losing PBs is par for the course, so it's all good. We're getting it next time. Don't worry. Everybody calm down. Seriously, I just want to say before we head out, thank you guys so much for your generosity towards this cause. Thank you guys for being in chat, for being hype. It means a lot to all of the runners and to the staff who are working their butt off trying to make everything going. And obviously, it goes without saying, times are crazy. Focus on your mental health. There's always resources. There's people available. Surround yourself with positivity and just keep on grinding.
True. Yeah, just want to say a huge thank you to Captain Ezekiel as well for the wonderful commentary today, for all the technical knowledge and bits he's dropped on us. Guys, if you want to learn this run, everybody should DM Captain Ezekiel and go learn from Senpai over there. He's genuinely a fantastic teacher, and it's how all three of us learn, I'm pretty sure. We all come from the school of Captain Ezekiel when it comes to RE7 speedrunning. So thank you so much, Zeke, for being here and also being wonderfully supportive. Like, you ask him to do anything, come help you, he's always there. So appreciate that, man, and thank you for coming and commentating today.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I love commentating runs where we get PBs like this, and it's super nice to see people's work pay off for them. For this run, and don't listen to Moon. If you want help, you can come into the Discord, and we'll be happy to help you. Corey, DM me asking for help. Corey, no, I'm not helping you. But no, jokes aside, it was super fun. This was super good run, and yeah, it was.
So I think what we'll do is we'll wrap up here and we'll end on what was paid for, which was a 1 minute choo-choo by Just Matty M with the £100 donation. So guys, you may want to mute me for a second. It might get a little loud. But so I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna start the timer. So do you want to count me in, Zeke? Because I know you love it that much.
Yeah, I'll count you down from 3. Right, on 1. All right, 3, 2, 1. What? What?
I gotta do it. I managed like 17 seconds. Yeah, I literally. There was nothing left.
Like half a second.
It sounded like the train just drove off a cliff. That's what it sounded like.
Oh yeah, the train just like flew away into the distance and went for a little stroll.
I've never been more pleasantly surprised in my life.
I like the wavering as well. That kind of really made it. It's like the train just phased out of reality for a second and came back. But yeah, that's it. We're gonna sign off now, guys. I've gone red in the face. I'm sure these guys want to take a small break, but we'll be back with some RE2 remake Leon A standard, run by Velocity, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'll be staying on hosting duty, if also I'm not mistaken. I may or may not be, so I might be back in a few minutes, guys. So yeah, have fun, guys. Stick around, enjoy the rest of the marathon, and from the RE7 community, thank you for having us here and having a lot of runs as well, showcasing a lot of different variation in all the RE7 runs. So yeah, I love you all. Ara, Nyiddle, Captain Ezekiel, thank you for coming today, and me and Ezekiel will be back tomorrow with more RE7 if you're interested. So yeah, stick around, guys. We love you all.